So in the Jiu-jitsu, you're coming and you're trying to do the Kokyu Nage, but when the person is countering you, you lose, you fail. Okay? Or when we have the two attackers, and you're over here and you're trying to muscle them, you get pinned, and when you get pinned, you get delayed, and the second attacker catches you. Okay, so we're going to go into that technique a little bit. And so let's just look at Kokyu hold and what's actually happening. Okay, so if I'm here and I leverage him up and then try to throw him, we do that technique like this. This is now I have been pinned. Second guy is going to catch me. What we want to do instead is not have two yang arms, but one yin arm. Okay? So I keep his energy going on one side. That's what starts the tilt. If you look here, he's just square. And so a lot of times when they're allowed to counter, because his posture is not compromised and he counters, he can do it, especially when he lets go. Double leg, boom, then I'm in trouble. So the best thing is just do jiu-jitsu, don't contest, let the energy go by. And you'll see the shoulders trade places and he's already going into the front kazushi. But I am not just going to let him swing out of the way, so I'll show you what I mean, okay? You're kind of like, go, and he's not coming forward. It doesn't matter. I have the adhesion, okay? So it's not a passive, I'm here and I get out of the way, you see? Because he has control of his feet where he steps. Only the choreographed Yuki goes ahead and checks himself. But if I don't have his body, he can do whatever he wants, right? So he goes, I move out of the way, he does whatever he wants. Can you counter? So when I'm here, I have to have his body. So it is a yielding, but there's an adhesion, which you guys show. We're going to show that he's not pushing anymore, and it doesn't matter. So boom, boom. This is different. Boom. So usually they're coming forward. That's when you would do the technique. But just because he's coming forward, don't just keep him in perfect agency. So we're going to have him not come forward. And I'm going to do the adhesion. So yes, it is a yielding, but it has integrity against other angles. Okay, let's go. Okay, so as he's coming in, you guys see I'm on this side of the action. Sorry, in this case you were right. Okay, I'm not on this side, and then I'm pushing. So I'm on this side of the thing. You see, I'm on this side, and then that moves. So boom, up. That is important because if I have to be on the other side of the circle, all the time and movement that it takes to get there, I don't have the same control of his body. I'm over here. This is where it's at. All that's happening. Secondly, keep your grip all weird. Okay? I don't want to use his grip as a kind of anchor point, and I do, because that meant I gave him time to grab me. And I don't want him to get a good grip. So in this drill, he's just here. And I'm doing it. Oh. So a lot of times on the second guy, they got a good grab on you, and the second guy got you. So it's all about, boom, don't let him grab you when you're going into Yuwaza. So I kind of feel his palm. Do you see that? Do you see that? So I'm not here and up at his forearm. So I'm going into his hand. Boom. It is adhering before he gets there. Boom. Okay? So in this drill, I'm going to work on not letting him get his grip. Okay? Then I'm going to test for the Aiki adhesion by having him pull. Okay? Now, the earlier I get that Aiki adhesion, the earlier I have control over his body, do you see? The later, such that the more it doesn't happen until I'm on the other side of the circle, that's where you get countered. In all that time that he's moving and you don't have control, and then you try to do your throw here, the counterable uke counters, because you didn't have control of them. They're not tilted, there's no angle of cancellation on their body, they're just walking in, all this is no control. Then he voluntarily, culturally gives up his front foot in the way that the countering uke in Jiu-jitsu does not. You get it? So in our drill, you need to have the adhesion. There's no adhesion, let's say, and I'm like, I move forward to here, you see? This is too late. So you want to try to get it as far out as possible in the drill. So, boom, got it. And then also as early as possible. So I'm out here, but look, tick, 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 tick. It's not going to be applicable. So right away, as soon as we touch, boom, you have it. Bop, boom. Okay, and out. Right away and out as far as possible. Yeah. Okay, so in the push, we'll go back to the push, but there's that same sense that that's what's happening. It's not just me yielding out of the way and then like I pulled the chair out from under him and he fell down. I caught out of the way and he came forward. That's not what's happening. Okay, so right away. And now all I gotta do with that hand is continue to take him into the shape of the front inward kazushi. So don't leave it up here because I did have the adhesion, but I didn't keep the tilt going. So tilt, 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 tilt down. Fully aware that the lower his head gets, the easier it is for the hip to cross over that line. The less energy or strength I need to get him all the way into the kazushi. So if I leave this here, this hand has to go really far over to make that left hip take that geometry for falling. So I'm going and I'm going to lower it to get his head low. Lower it to get his head low. Boom. Lower it to get his head low. Boom. Head low. Okay, this is where you'll return to your external stuff, all right? And again, the guy's going to counter you or slow you down enough to the second uke gets you, right? Or you just won't have the mechanics for doing the technique. So when you're over here and you're going like this is all just leverage, right? And so he could change. Let's say I'm in the position, right? If I go over here like this, there's no control of him. So this is where the counter uke does something else to you. Okay? So here I already have control. So we're going to show that I have control, that we'll give him different angles. So let's say he wants to come forward before I want him to, he can't. And what you're going to see when I say he can't is it shifts his line of gravity and he has to move his base of support, okay? So in other words, if he tries to pull back, it's not that I'm over here, it's that when I have the adhesion, he tries to pull back, it affects his line of gravity, okay? So as I'm going, you're going to see that I don't ever get onto the other side and now make this a push move. It's all an adhesion, okay? So let's have him lift up against the adhesion. You see? And we're going. Let's have him try to bring this foot forward. Yeah, to get your base back under you. Do it again. There you go. Okay, I'll do the adhesion. Just takes him more into it. So you have to watch the difference that you're not over here and you're going like that. That will just go and it looks like it's gonna work, but it doesn't. As you've noticed. Okay? So instead it's here, you have the adhesion. And you're just using that adhesion on that hand. Boom, adhesion. Okay? As I do this technique, I don't want to get on this side and then push this down. It's going to be a leverage move. So this hand's got the connection. Let's show it by you resisting. This hand's got the connection. And what I'm going to do is you can see that I'm making his mass move towards me. And it's going to hit the Kokyu. So he's going to come in again. And I have the adhesion on this hand. And I'm going to manipulate him. So boom, he hits this hand. So a yin, the Aiki adhesion. We'll do the one below. We'll do yin on. Okay? So I have the adhesion. Go a little slower, a little slower. I have the adhesion. Boom. And this arm here, I want his weight to hit that front ground path. So boom, hop, boom. Then we'll have him resist. He's pulling. Doesn't matter. Boom, boom. Can be long. Can be short. Can get his head as low as possible so that hip goes over easier. Okay, let's go.